Jenkins walked out of Wonder Woman 3. She's not willing to compromise with James Gunn. All of that is coming up in the multiverse of movies. So James Gunn finally responded to the comments on the Hollywood Reporter article. If you guys remember, a couple of days ago, the Hollywood Reporter put out an article saying, hey, Wonder Woman 3 has been canceled, Black Adam 2 seems unlikely, and Henry Cavill's Superman might not be returning. And also, Jason Momoa will no longer be Aquaman, but he will play Lobo. But the major thing about that, and it's something that I feel like isn't talked about enough, we're talking about DC reboot, which, by the way, the article didn't say it's going to reboot, but it does seem like they're going to reboot certain things, like a little soft reboot. But in the article, they do mainly say that one thing that is confirmed is that the current version of Wonder Woman 3, they're not going with it. They didn't like Patty's script, and they're going to have to change it up. But now we have more information on that, which is coming from Deadline right now. And let me actually, in fact, read it right now for you. And they say, granted, the optics of Gunn and Peter Safran's arrival at the studio and the deep sixing of Jenkins' Wonder Woman 3 treatment doesn't look good. Optically, in the weight of the diversity-led and behind-the-scenes Batgirl getting killed, that decision made by Warner Bros. CEO David Zaslav. However, we're hearing that Jenkins was given the chance to take another stab out of Wonder Woman 3 treatment after receiving notes from all Warner Bros. Motion picture brass. It wasn't just Gunn and Safran's decision. There were concerns about character arcs and payoffs, and the threequel, emulating similar and structural problems, allow Wonder Woman 84. She decided to take her toys and go home. The studio would like to do another Wonder Woman. However, the question is, will Gal Gadot do it in sans Jenkins? Warner's intent was never to be sexist. Rather, the blowing up of Wonder Woman 3 came down to creative differences. The tweet a day before yesterday's chaotic news makes it sound like she's still in the game. And yeah, that's coming from Deadline. So to kind of quickly sum up what they're really trying to tell you is they gave Patty a shot, but they didn't like what Patty gave them. And it wasn't just Gunn and Safran's decision. This apparently went to some higher-ups too. So... but Gunn was also in the choice of like, hey, Patty's not the chance. So Patty could still be directing Wonder Woman 3. And by the way, I want her to. To me, she still directed that first phenomenal Wonder Woman movie. I think one of my problems with movie talk communities is we tend to forget when a filmmaker makes one bad movie, we tend to forget the other good movies. Like Taika Waititi is getting something similar. Thor Ragnarok was massively loved by everyone. And then Love and Thunder came out. That was a very mixed, divided movie. And now everyone wants to act as if Taika didn't make that first Ragnarok movie. Every filmmaker is going to have a bad day in the office. Even the fucking great Steven Spielberg, who to me is the greatest filmmaker of all time. And he made The Terminal, which I don't think it's a bad movie, but I also don't think it's a good movie either. You know, it's a below average film. But it's like every filmmaker's gonna have a bad day. Even Zack Snyder. I love Zack. I love all his movies. The only movie I just don't like of his is Sucker Punch. I've seen the extended cut. I've seen everything. It's like Sucker Punch is just not to me a solid movie. I think that movie really struggles. It's visually stunning though. I'll say that. But yeah, Patty Jenkins. To me, I would like her to do Wonder Woman 3. But from what it seems, she's not willing to compromise. Now, this is understandable. No filmmaker wants to compromise. Every film... like, I hate how people are now villainizing Patty Jenkins for this. Like, this is a common thing. Movie makers want to do their own thing. This happens in life, too. YouTube. In YouTube, people want to edit their videos a certain style or make their videos a certain way. Imagine if someone just came up to you and was like, I want to do this, I want to do that. It would feel weird because it's like, this is your channel. Why do you want things changed? So it's like, it's an understandable thing. But I do think that at the end of the day, James Gunn needs to be making the decisions that are important to him. To me, right now, it is crucial to do the best choices. Because there's a reason why James Gunn was hired to be the co-CEO of DC Studios. And so I think it's a big W that he's like, hey, look, you know what? We don't like your script. It doesn't fit with our plans. So you can go ahead and leave. And I like that because that's what a true leader does. A true leader needs to put his foot when it's needed. A true leader needs to be able to guide when it's needed. And a true leader needs to be making the difficult choices that the average person can't make. And whether we want to deny it or not, Patty Jenkins is kind of in the shitstorm right now. Before Wonder Woman 84, I remember everyone was on her high praise. Everyone was like, Patty Jenkins made this amazing Wonder Woman movie, which, by the way, I love that first movie, and it was loved by most people. It was a bright, shining light during a time where it just sucked to be a DC fan back in 2017, 2016, But, this was a director who came in and made an amazing film that everyone loved. Both Snyder fans and non-Snyder fans liked this movie, you know. And she came in, she did the job, and for years, for like 3 years, it was Patty's the GOAT. Patty's great. Patty's amazing. Even in 2020, it was announced she's going to do a Cleopatra movie, a Star Wars Rogue Squadron movie, and Wonder Woman 3. There was even conversations that Patty could honestly walk into any set and do whatever movie she wanted to. And it was like this big deal. And then Wonder Woman 84 came out. And I feel like that genuinely damaged her reputation, because if there's one thing in Hollywood you don't want to do, it's fucking up a big IP, a big franchise. We see this time and time again. Directors getting less jobs because they fucked up once. I mean, look at the discourse around Rian Johnson. Nobody wants Rian Johnson after The Last Jedi. I mean, yeah, I mean, he made his own thing with Knives Out, Glass Onion. By the way, I love those movies. But, like, ever since then, like, you never hear conversations about Rian Johnson doing any science fiction, big IP franchises anymore, you know? And that's the one thing you never want to be known as, the guy who fucked up a big IP. Guarantee you the director of Black Adam is not going to be getting any jobs anytime soon, or at least any major jobs. So Patty was kind of put in the shitstorm. And I've said this for a while. I believe that if Patty does the right thing, the failure of Wonder Woman 84 is going to motivate her. It's going to show her that, hey, look, you are flawed, but you can still improve. Kind of like how Maxwell Lord said, it's good, but it can be better. And I'm hoping that she learns from her mistakes, and I do think she needs to take these notes into consideration. Now, I can understand Patty's frustration. She was this big-time director who was allowed to do anything. Obviously, with Wonder Woman 84, she was given way too much liberty, which I do believe filmmakers should be giving liberty, but at the end of the day, I think this isn't a black and white situation. I can understand Patty not wanting to compromise, and I can understand DC and Warner Bros. Being like, hey, look, we don't want to go this route. And at the end of the day, I don't think there's a bad guy in this. I'm tired of people saying, oh, people shouldn't interfere with the filmmaker, or the other people being like, oh, Patty should be able to compromise. And at the end of the day, I do think it's a right move to just be like, hey, Patty, we didn't like this current script, so we might just have to move on with somebody else. Because, look, Patty isn't the only person who can direct a Wonder Woman movie. And also, by the way, why the fuck did Deadline have to bring up the whole sexist thing? Like, this is so stupid. Why are we even bringing up sexism? Like, what? Who? Like, what? But anyways, look, at the end of the day, the thing I want more from DC is wins. We need WWW. For a long time, it's been LLL, draw, LLW, LLL. Like, it's just been consistently being shitty being a DC fan. And so I'm glad that now we have a leader who can take us to the promised land. And that's James Gunn and Peter Safran. And they got to be able to make the difficult choices, even if it's the choices that people don't really understand. Because I won't lie to you, I would prefer Patty to stay for Wonder Woman 3. I'm not just going to forget that first amazing movie. But at the same time, I do believe that we should be following James Gunn. And that's what I was trying to say on my stream yesterday. If you guys were on my stream yesterday, you would know that I was big on being like, hey, look, if James Gunn wants to reboot, I want to give him the opportunity to. Because I believe at the end of the day, James Gunn should be allowed to do what he wants. He was given the job for a reason, and we should be able to see what his universe is. I get we want to see the Snyderverse. I get we want to see the Reevesverse, or, I mean, obviously we are going to get the Reevesverse. I get we want to see Zack Snyder finish his vision. But at the end of the day, I also want to see what James Gunn's vision is. I don't see why people all automatically assume that this is the end of Snyder. They can always come back to it. They can always. But just that now they're going to go with Gunn. But if any time Zaslav was like, hey, let's bring back Zack, they can still do that. Just that Gunn will have his thing and then Zack do his own thing. But I'm going to follow Gunn because I want to see what is his plans. What does he want? Because we still don't know what he would want. We don't even know what the fuck his order of universe is going to be. We don't even know if he's going to hard reboot. Now, my assumption is it's going to be a soft reboot. Not a hard reboot, but a soft reboot. But yeah, that's it for what I have to say. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bells. And also comment down below, what do you think about this? Do you agree, disagree? Do you want to see Patty direct Wonder Woman 3 or not? Whatever it is, let us know in the comment section down below. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.